really good film.
So the Muslim population in this country is about 2.8 million. Okay, theoretically, about 1 in 4 would be over the age of 17 or 18 when they can vote. So I would say we have something like 700,000 to 800 voters, right? Of those, generally, the percentage registering would be about 60%, and those who go out to vote would be another 60%. So that sort of brings the margin down in terms of effective political power. But again, because there are many in the marginal seats, that is an important factor.
Get Turkish volunteers, sometimes 3 months internship, they come.
Muslims and the black and minority ethnics have tended to go vote for the Labour Party. The reason is that the Labour Party was the first, when Labour was in government in the 60s and the 70s, they brought in legislation against racial discrimination. They brought in the Race Relations Act. So there's a general sympathy amongst Muslims and the BME communities, the minority communities, for the Labour Party. Very important now is about hate crimes and Islamophobia and the need for very strong legislation against hate crimes. Because at the moment, there's legislation which is against religious and racial hatred, but is not very strong about religious hatred. There's a different bar, there's a different level. You have to be very careful about racial hatred, but the right-wing parties are able to get away about religious hatred. So we want to have the same level of law against both. So the Muslim community is very concerned about hate crimes and anti-Muslim hate crimes, Islamophobia.
At the moment, I'm thinking between Labour and Lib Dems. This is because I feel when I went to university for my undergraduate degree, Labour was in power at that point, and what I really admired about Labour was their passion about education, and that really helped me, my generation, to excel, and it gave us the opportunities, and I have gained personally very much from Labour's education policy. For me, the issue of minorities and education for me, of course, personally is of huge importance. So I do think that a party that promotes education for everybody in society, no matter their background, which class they come from, I think that's the party I would support, because I do think education is a right that everybody deserves, and it's not to be confined to one particular group in society. In terms of minorities, I think that Labour and Lib Dems are much more in communication with the minority communities. They interact with them more, they understand them more.
I've been voting for Labour purely because at the moment they have perhaps within the manifestos the most pro-Muslim aspects to it, and one key feature which I believe is definitely long overdue is the factor to do with them stating that they will outlaw Islamophobic crime. For me, as an individual, when I've actually taken a look at what happens in this country, I think Islamophobia is quite prevalent. You have, unfortunately, police officers who are not trained to investigate specific Islamophobic crime. That's quite worrying, that is.